Two names, Viper and Ghost. Their mission, erase from the map the place where the attacks that blacked out an entire Ukrainian city are being planned. They fly so low, the sound of their engines blends with the wind. Above them, Russian fighters. Below them, radars and missile batteries waiting to hear them breathe. But tonight, they're not flying to survive. They're flying to cut the head off the network that commands Russia's drone swarms. If they succeed, thousands will sleep safely. If they fail, no one will wake up in time. And if you want to witness missions that truly changed the course of this war, subscribe, leave a like, and stay until the end. Because this is just beginning. 50 meters above the ground, two Ukrainian MiG-29s tear through a narrow valley at over 900 kilometers per hour. Their afterburners flash orange against the morning haze. Inside the lead jet, Major Andriy Viper Chapchenko keeps his eyes locked on a single blinking dot on his display, the target. Beside him, at perfect distance, Captain Ivan Ghost Petrenko mirrors every move. 18 minutes until drop. Their destination, the nest. An old farmhouse turned Russian command center, the hub that coordinated the drone strikes which left Kharkiv without power for 3 nights straight. But the mission is already compromised. High above, a Russian A-50 radar plane has detected an unidentified intrusion. And now, a Su-35 Flanker E, Russia's deadliest interceptor, is diving toward them at Mach 1.5. In the depths of Kursk Oblast, the crew of an S-400 Triumph missile battery powers up the massive 92 N6E gravestone radar. A tower the size of a truck hums to life. Hundreds of small emitters sweeping the horizon with invisible waves. At first, nothing. Then, a flicker. A tiny reflection off metal, 50 meters above the ground. Not a lock, not yet, but enough. The system flags the anomaly. Within seconds, the alert spreads across Russia's integrated air defense network. In command bunkers, monitors flash red. Coordinates shift. At 80 kilometers away, a Su-30s pilot receives new data on his HUD. He doesn't need to see the target. His Bars R radar can find an aircraft hiding behind hills or trees. He banks south and accelerates. The hunt has begun. 30 kilometers ahead of the fighters, a Bayraktar TB2 drone drifts silently at 5,500 meters, its camera fixed on the nest. From a van disguised on the outskirts of Sumy, a Ukrainian operator watches every movement. Trucks entering, antennas rotating, lights flickering. He's counted 14 Orlan 10 drones launched from that site. Each one carried out a strike on Ukrainian cities. This isn't a farm. It's a nerve center for Russia's swarm operations. The TB2 sends live coordinates to the approaching MiGs. Every vehicle that moves, every radar that lights up, updated in real time. But the drone also plays a more dangerous role. It's bait. Russian air defense hates the Bayraktar. They hunt it relentlessly. And in doing so, they expose themselves. Hidden among the trees near Yotkino, a Pantsir S-1 gun missile system switches on its targeting radar. In that instant, Ukrainian electronic warfare trucks far beyond the border detect the pulse and triangulate its position. "Target confirmed," a voice says over the secure channel. In Viper's cockpit, a shrill tone from the SPO-15 threat receiver pierces his helmet. Pantsir frequency. He rolls 5 degrees east, dips behind a hill. The tone vanishes. Silence. But it costs him 3 seconds of afterburner, 3 seconds of precious fuel. In a mission like this, every drop counts. 30 kilometers away, In a Russian listening post, Cold War-era acoustic sensors pick up a low rumble. The needles spike. "Fast movers approaching from the southwest," a technician shouts. The colonel in charge narrows his eyes. "Maximum alert." Across the region, radar screens awaken one by one. In the Su-30, the pilot receives confirmation. "Vector 240, descend and engage." He slams the throttles past the afterburner gate. The twin AL-31FP engines scream as the jet climbs to Mach 1.5. From 5,000 meters up, he is the hawk, and somewhere below, the prey. On Viper's kneeboard tablet, a flashing message. "Ascent point, 90 seconds." The plan is suicidal, yet simple. Climb sharply to 2,500 meters, release the French-made AASM Hammer bombs, then dive for escape. But climbing here means exposure. The threat receiver fills with overlapping tones, deep pulses from the S-400, rapid pings from the Pantsir, a high chirp from something new, Tor M2, then a burst of static, the TB2 operator's voice. "Viper, brake left, Tor active, grid 080, tree line." The Tor M2 is a digital killer, autonomous, fast, precise. Its missiles can lock and launch in under 7 seconds. Viper yanks the control stick into his chest, a 6G turn that makes the world spin. It saves him. For now. But in a bunker 50 kilometers away, a Russian colonel smirks. The Tor wasn't meant to kill, only to herd. And it worked. The MiGs are now flying straight into the trap. Awaiting Buk M3 battery, its radar mast rises through the trees. Classic SAM ambush, perfected through decades. Ghost sees it first. His threat receiver explodes in a single, continuous shriek. A lock tone. On his panel, a flashing name, Buk M3. They're 55 kilometers out. Inside, lethal range. In every manual, that's checkmate. "Ghost, vertical dive, now!" Viper shouts. Instead of fleeing, both MiGs push their noses toward the threat. Viper hits the countermeasure switch. Metallic chaff bursts behind them, flooding the radar screens with false echoes. In the Buk control truck, chaos erupts. "Track lost. Multiple targets," the operator yells. By the time he switches to manual, the MiGs have slipped into the Buk's dead zone, too low for its missiles to arm or maneuver. They survive, but at a cost. Altitude lost, energy drained, their launch window is gone. The Buk operator recovers and fires 2 missiles anyway. 9M317MS streak into the sky. Ghost pulls into a defensive spiral, flares and chaff streaming. The first missile explodes harmlessly. The second adapts, reading the spiral pattern, closing fast. "Impact in 4 seconds," Ghost shouts. He slams into an 8G turn, brutal, tearing, and the missile loses energy, detonating 30 meters behind him. Shrapnel slices his tail. Hydraulic warnings flash red, but the MiG holds. Then a new tone. A fighter radar, Su-35s, 40 kilometers behind. 2 R-77 missiles leave its rails. The first is blinded by the sun and flares. The second learns. "Impact 3 seconds." Ghost doesn't think. He acts. He pulls back hard and cuts the throttles. The MiG rises nose up, almost vertical, speed dropping to 0. For a single heartbeat, 18 tons of metal hang motionless in the air. The R-77 screams past, its proximity fuse searching for a fast-moving target that no longer exists. It misses, but the maneuver lights up every Russian radar. An S-400 commander sees a fleeting window. He orders a barrier launch, 4 48N6DM missiles, not to hit, but to create a wall of shrapnel in the MiG's escape path. Viper calculates. Going around costs 40 extra kilometers. Fuel they don't have. We go through. Both jets drop to 50 meters. The S-400 warheads explode half a kilometer above them. Steel rains down. A fragment pierces Viper's wing. Not fatal. They press on. 15 seconds to target. They need altitude for the bombs to glide. Viper glances at his clock. Then he pulls. Engines roar. 1,000, 2,000, 2,500 meters. Launch lights flash green. At 7:01, both pilots press the trigger. 4 AASM Hammer bombs drop away. Their wings unfold with a metallic snap. Booster rockets ignite, sending them gliding 60 kilometers ahead. First comes GPS, but Russian jamming fills the sky with static. The bombs switch instantly to inertial navigation. Internal laser gyros calculating position 30 times per second. As they cross the interference zone, infrared seekers activate, scanning for thermal shapes captured earlier by the TB2. The command building, the power generator, the vehicles outside. Inside each bomb lies a programmable brain, the SJU-64 Smart Fuse. Hammer 1, Command Center, Delay Detonation, Explode Inside. Hammer 2, Vehicle Yard, Surface Burst, Maximum Fragmentation. Hammer 3, Safe House, Basement Detonation. Hammer 4, Maintenance Hangar, Airburst at 3 meters for wide dispersion. At 7:01:15, Hammer 1 strikes the command center roof at 280 meters per second. It doesn't explode on impact. It waits 15 milliseconds, burrows into the server room, and vaporizes everything inside. Hammer 2 locks onto the bright heat of a fuel truck. The instant it touches metal, it detonates. 6,000 steel fragments shred 35 meters of ground. Antennas melt like wax. Hammer 3 pierces a wooden safe house, counts the layers, senses the void of the basement, then detonates. The structure folds in on itself. Hammer 4 bursts 3 meters above a warehouse, an iron storm ripping apart 3 Orlan 10 drones under repair. In less than half a minute, the nest ceases to exist. The command building doesn't explode, it implodes. Floors collapse downward, crushing racks of computers and operators beneath tons of their own concrete. Nearby trucks burn, fuel spilling like rivers of fire. The antenna field is gone, melted into twisted metal. Hundreds of kilometers away, 12 Orlan drones suddenly lose their uplink. Their operators are gone. The drones circle aimlessly, switching to autonomous return, flying home to a base that's now nothing but smoke. The entire drone command network for the sector wiped out in 30 seconds of precision. Viper's damaged wing vibrates violently as both MiGs drop back to treetop level. Ghost's hydraulic system bleeds pressure, but the jet still answers the controls. Behind them, Russian radars still sweep, but confusion reigns. The Su-35s hesitates. He could chase, but every ridge could hide a Stinger team. He turns away. At 7:18, the 2 Ukrainian fighters cross the border. On Viper's tablet, one light blinks green. Mission accomplished. The nest did not burn, it vanished. The floors caved in, the communications arrays shattered. The Orlans, without masters, fell silent. And that night, Kharkiv's lights came back on for the first time in weeks. When morning came, the massive drone wave that was supposed to launch never did. There were no coordinates left to send. 2 names remain in the mission log: Viper and Ghost. Names that will never appear in the newspapers. But for one morning, they rewrote the rules of this war with nothing but courage, precision, and the will to finish what others only planned. If you want to witness more real missions that changed modern warfare, subscribe leave a like, and join us for the next operation. Because in this war of machines and minds, the next story is already taking off.